Hi, everybody. I had a few people ask me questions about the Edulastic assignment on Thursday, so I am going to record myself doing all the problems and talking through how I do them. So basically, all the questions in this are about proportionality and similarity in geometry. So when they're asking you for all these missing pieces, the big thing to note here is that you have a big triangle and you have a little triangle, and they're similar to each other. So that means that 12.5, y, and x all go together on one triangle, and 3, 5, and 4 all go together on the other triangle, and 5 goes with 12.5, 4 goes with x, and 3 goes with y. So I can take two proportions now to solve for x and y. 12.5, which is on the big triangle, goes with 5 on the little triangle. Y goes with 3. Y is on the big triangle, 3 is on the little one. You're going to cross multiply and solve that proportion, and you should get 7.5 for y. Okay. So we're going to still use this 12.5 and 5, the big and the little, but now x goes with 4, and when you cross multiply and solve for x, you should get that x is equal to 10. Okay, so now that I know that this whole part here is equal to 7.5, and I know that this whole part here is equal to 10, all I have to do is subtract to get the missing pieces. So the missing piece for B to D is going to be 7.5 minus 3, which is 4.5. And the missing piece from C to E is 10 minus 4, which is 6. Okay, so we've got 10, 7.5, 6, and 4.5 as our answers for that one. Number 2. If the sides of an 8-inch square are doubled, which of the following statements about its area is true? Okay, so let's look at a square that's got sides 8 and 8. The area is 64, because to find the area, you do length times width. So now I'm going to double those sides. So it would be 16 and 16. And 16 times 16 is 256. So they're asking how many times bigger is it than the old area? So I'd do 256 divided by 64 to see how many times bigger it is, and it's 4 times bigger. All right, number 3, we've got two similar trapezoids. So if they're similar, that means that all the corresponding parts are in the same ratio, or they're proportional. So that means 45 goes with 2x plus 4. 40 goes with 16. Okay, I can't really use those two 35s. They're not really going to help me. But I know that in the big one, I have 45 and 40. I know that in the small one, I have 2x plus 4, and I have 16. So now you can cross multiply with this one. You can reduce first and then cross multiply, but you still have to cross multiply. When you cross multiply for this one, you have to distribute that 40 to everything and then cross multiply here. When all is said and done, you should get that x is equal to 7. So this crazy man built a replica of a ship, the USS Missouri, and he did it out of Legos. Okay, so now we've got the real ship and we've got the Lego ship. Okay, So now the real ship is 888 feet long. The scale factor is 1 to 37. Okay, so what that means is that for every foot on the Lego model, it's 37 feet on the real model. So we're trying to find out how long the Lego ship is altogether. So that's where our x goes. And then we cross multiply and we solve. And x should be 24 feet. Number 5. The two shapes are similar. Create and solve a proportion to find the value of x. Okay, so for this one, we have to realize which side goes with which. So I can see right now that all of these are divisible by the same number. They're all divisible by 7. So if I divide that by 7, I get 7. If I divide that by 7, I get 9. And if I divide that by 7, I get 5. So now all of those numbers can be turned into the numbers over here by multiplying by the same thing. 7 becomes 42 by multiplying by 6. 5 becomes 30 by multiplying by 6. So 9 will become this thing by multiplying by 6. Okay, so what that means is that 6x minus 6 is equal to 9 times 6. So 6x minus 6 is equal to 54. I'm going to add 6 to both sides, and I'll get 60. X is equal to 10. X is equal to 10, and that missing side is 54. Okay, number 6. Create and solve a proportion to find x. So again, this is another one of those problems where we have a big triangle, and it's similar to a little triangle. And the two pieces that we have that match together, x goes with 15, and x is with the small triangle, and 15 with the big triangle. Now, on the small triangle, the x matches up. On the small triangle, we have the 6, and that's going to match up to this whole side, which is 6 and 4, so 10. And now you can cross multiply and solve to get x. X ends up being 9. The other thing they want is the scale factor. Well, we've got 6 and 9. We've got the 4 here and the 15 here, or 10. So we've got 10 to 6, or 9 to 15. And remember, this should have been 15 to 9. And this is the big, and this is in the small. So when I reduce both of those fractions, I should get the same ratio. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 5 goes into 15. 3 goes into 15 5 times, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. Sorry, I messed that one up. But the ratio is 5 to 3. Okay, and if you put 3 to 5, that would also work because we're just talking about the scale factor between the two figures. Use the scale factor to create a proportion. Use it to solve for the missing measure. So we're going from A to B with this scale factor, 2 to 7. 6 to the missing piece. So when we solve that proportion, we should get 21. Okay, next one. Okay, so we've got two buildings here. There's two pictures of the Hong Kong Bank. One is the real one and one is the Lego. So again, we've got the real and we've got the Lego. What is the scale factor ratio of the model to the real building? Well, they tell us that the real building is 1205 and that the Lego is 5. So we're going to reduce that and we should get 241. Okay, but notice that they ask for the ratio for the model to the building. So 1 in the model is equal to 241 in the real. Okay, number 9. Use the scale factor to create a proportion. Use it to solve for the unknown measure. Be careful here because the ratio now is from B to A, but they give you the scale factor here, A to B. So I'm going to write A to B here. And from A to B, it's 1 to 7. The missing piece is on B, and the 7 is on A. So you end up getting 49 as your missing piece. They tried to trick you there. Well, I guess it was me that tried to trick you. Sorry. All right, so now again, we're going to solve for x, and then we're going to find that missing side of x. Well, x minus 2 corresponds to 12. X minus 2 goes with 12, and then it doesn't really matter which other piece you use. So I'm just going to use 18 and 24. And before I do anything else, I'm going to reduce this fraction because I know that I can reduce both of them by 6, and then there's smaller numbers for me to solve this. So it'll be x minus 2 over 12 equals 3 over 4. And when you solve that, you should get 9 for x. And then when you you should get 11 for x. You get 9 when you plug it back in. Okay, last one. We are going to find the scale ratio. Okay, so what side goes with what? Well, doesn't it look like 4 times 2 is 8, 7 times 2 is 14. So what times 2 gives me 10? It would be 5. Okay, so the ratio is 2 to 1. 2 to 1, or 1 to 2, or just 2, or 1 over 2. There's a bunch of different ways to write the ratios. Okay, I hope this helped. If you still are having trouble with this and you need more help, I can take questions about this in class.